It's me, the infamous Kiki. Hey, everybody. I got my little hat on. I'm not looking so puffy today, y'all. I'm so proud of myself. But anyway, welcome. My name is the infamous Kiki. Welcome to my channel. I hope you guys can hear me. I try to put the microphone up here, but I'm live from my car again. One of my cars in the car. So we're live today. I do my videos live because whatever I feel like in my spirit, I feel like, oh, I'm in my spirit. Look, I already got a thumbs up. Make sure y'all thumbs up and like the video and subscribe. I got a few new subscribers. I can say hello to my few new subscribers. It's because I did the Muslim video. I think I got a few Muslim people that just it's gonna come through. But anyway, I know most of you guys are gonna watch this on the rewatch, and like I said, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, whatever the video. And I just speak on my spirit here at my channel. We talk about topics, and I share topics, and we have a conversation. I'm like we're talking, like we're friends. I'm just like, hey, what's up? What's up? So we're talking like we're friends, and so that's what I do. What we're gonna talk about today, about the title of the video. We're gonna talk about. This is gonna be a mini part series. This is going to be a lots of part series about what's going on in my dating life. So let me just, guys, for all you singles out there, or maybe some of you are not single, um, I'm going to try to give you guys some advice, and just kind of why I say that dating these days is not fun. It's not my idea of being cool. It is this is not cool. So some background for those of you who do not know, I was in a 5-year relationship with a man. I'm very straight. um, not bi or gay or anything. Let me put that out there first, because so I always get some questions on the low low from women who are like, "Hey." But I was in a 5-year relationship that ended, that kind of like teetered and wobbled to a halt, I should say. Um, we broke up, got back together. Broke up, got back together. Just kind of like that. And um, so I decided to end the relationship because there were things going on in the relationship that I did not like. And I will do another video about that, um, about what went on my relationship. Because a lot of you know, they don't know my ex, but y'all know of him. Y'all used to hear me talk about him in glowing terms and how in love I was. And, y'all know him as allegedly, or Dick Grimes. Like some of y'all know him by nicknames. But my ex was a 5 year solid part of my life. And when I started doing YouTube videos, a lot of y'all would hear him in the background, or he would say stuff in the background and we would laugh and stuff like that. So I ended the relationship. I kind of say it was mutual. So I'm very, very single now. And like I said, I won't get into the reasons why I ended my relationship, but it's various. So that put me back on the dating market, y'all. I'm like, I'm single again. I'm back on the prowl. I'm like, oh, let me turn this off, y'all. I think I'm coming in through my car, and I don't want to come in through my car. But anyway, I hope you guys can still hear me, because I realized I was still like hooked into my car, and I don't want to be hooked into my car. But so um, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm single again. I'm back on the market or whatever. I've been single for a while now, so not nothing recent. But I decided in my relationship. So I get back into the dating thing. Now, here's some background about me. 9 years ago, I lost my husband. My husband of 8 years passed away because he was born with a heart problem. He was born with a heart issue, um, that he was born with. And so it didn't really manifest itself until he was like 24, 25. So, make a long story short, a lot of y'all heard the story. My husband, who is the father of my kids, died of a heart issue 9 years ago. So I never anticipated being a widow at a young age. That put me back on the market. And so here I was, 8 years not dating, back on the dating scene with me. When I started dating my husband, I met my husband on a chat line. I met my husband on a phone line called Lava Life. Now, Lava Life is still around, y'all. Y'all can look it up. And I've gotten into this in other videos. I have a whole playlist of all about me that you'll learn about how me and my late husband met. But he passed away, so I had to get back. So it took a while for me to grieve, and I started slowly but surely dating. Realized what dating apps were like when I started being on dating apps 9 years ago. Match.com, eHarmony, Tinder. I don't think Bumble was even around then. I don't think Hinge was around then. So this is the rise of the dating app. So I got on dating apps, and I had a lot of success. You know, at first I just started dating people. It wasn't anything serious because I wasn't ready for anything serious. My ex of 5 years was the first person that I was serious about, that I met and I was serious about. Like I was like, okay, I'm ready to have a serious relationship. So he was like the first serious relationship. But I spent a lot of time on dating apps. So and I met him on a dating app. I met my ex on Tinder. So before Tinder was known, now it's known as like a hookup site. But when Tinder first started, it was just a legit dating site, and that's where I met my ex. I met him about 6 years ago. So I've been off and on dating apps. You know, me and my ex got together, and I stopped being on dating apps, and I was totally faithful and everything. And so now that me and my ex broke up, we're back on dating sites again. Okay. I laugh because, baby, baby, dating apps have changed. It is not like it was 5 years ago. It is not like it was when I was on. Like things have changed a lot. And it's not just me. I have other people who have been on dating apps who have said the same thing. The dating apps have changed. Um, for the worse, not for the better, for the worse. So being a woman over a certain age, which I am a woman over a certain age, over the age of 40. Whew, anyway, way over the age of 40. Let me stop. I'm way over the age of 40. Let's just put it this way. I'm 40, at the lower end of 40, maybe 50. I don't know. I'm not going to tell y'all. But I have fortunate enough that I don't look like this when I get on dating apps, y'all. Y'all seen me. Y'all see my thumbnail when I'm all glammed up and makeup and everything, and with the braces. Yeah, I still got braces. It's been like 3 years. I, I like people mistake me for being younger. Like people are like think I'm like in my 30s, but I'm not, which is flattering. Okay, I normally date a younger dude. My husband was 9 years younger than me. My ex was six 6 years younger than me, 6 or 7 years younger than me. So I've always dated dudes at least 5, 6, 7 years younger than me, and it's never been an issue, never been a problem. Dating these days is like swimming in a tank full of hungry piranhas, and not in and I don't mean like men throwing themselves after you. Again, I've done videos about this before about dating apps. Like I said, let me preface this with saying I am talking about strictly about dating apps. I am not talking about meeting a friend at the meeting a man at the grocery store or at church or through your friends or somebody sliding in your DMs. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about dating apps only. Because people will comment in my videos, and I'm like, I'm not talking about dating. I'm not talking about meeting people out at a club or a bar somewhere. I am talking about strictly meeting men through dating apps. So if you do not have experience in that, this is going to be an eye opener. And if you do not have experience in that, don't come at me because you don't know what you're talking about. I know there are plenty of people. Let me do a caveat. Let me preach to y'all. Let me do a caveat, y'all. There are what grinds my gears? There are plenty of people online that have videos and advice about dating apps and dating, and they've never been on a freaking dating app, or they haven't been on a dating app in 10 years because they're married, or they're dating someone, or they have a living boyfriend or girlfriend, or they went on dating apps for 6 months to do an article, or they've been on dating app once. Those people drive me crazy. There are people out there, like I said, again, let me repeat to the people in the back. There are people out there giving you advice about how to be on dating apps that have never been on dating apps. They've been on dating apps for maybe 2 or 3 months. They may have tried it a little bit, blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you from somebody who is an OG, okay? I'm an OG of dating apps. I met my ex through a dating app. I've dated the dudes before him, I've dated all from dating apps. I've been off and on dating apps for 9 freaking years, y'all. So I don't want to hear anybody talking about, oh, well, again, I get annoyed because when I went for advice to try to find advice of what's going on dating apps now, there's a bunch of people who have barely been on dating apps that are giving advice. And they're like, oh, well, I was on a dating app one time, or I'm a dating coach and I help people, honey, but are you on the dating app? Well, no, I've emailed people like, so what experience do you have with dating apps? Well, no, not really. I know I have some clients that are on dating apps. How can you give somebody advice and tell clients what to do as a matchmaker or a love coach when you've never been on dating apps? When a lot of people now are meeting on dating apps. When I first started, dating apps was this very kind of niche, taboo kind of thing that people didn't really talk about. So I get annoyed by that. But anyway, I'm going to do a video about how these so-called dating gurus and people giving advice, men and women, talking about dating apps and or talking about dating, and they either leave out dating apps or they talk about dating apps, but they've never been on one. I'm not going to get up here and tell y'all something that I've never done. Like I said that before, I'm not going to comment on shows that I don't have any connection to, like either interest wise or personally. I've dated ex-cons, so that's why I used to do my recaps of Love After Lockup, because I've dated dudes in on lockup. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell y'all something that I don't know about. So yes, I'm on dating apps actively right now. Not long time ago, not 2 years ago, not 7 months ago. Right now, there are 3 dating apps that I'm on, and I will do another video talking about which dating apps I'm on. But I just have to lament at how dating these days suck. How things have changed on dating apps. First of all, um, I would. There's 3 things I want to talk about. Number one, the caliber of men that are on dating apps now. Dating apps used to be like, only certain men would get on there and blah blah blah. And you have like a good pool. Like a lot of people just get on there, because they were really looking for somebody. Now dating apps, you have so many people on dating apps now, and that's due to the pandemic. That's due to the dating apps getting out in the media. But you have people on there that treat dating apps like social media. Like they get on there and they create an account because one of their friends told them about it, or they saw it online, or they heard it in the news. And so people are treating dating apps now like social media. So people get on their create accounts, they swipe, they scroll, they may leave a message here or two, they may like or not like, and they doing something because they're at home, they're bored, they're just checking it out. It's not a sincerity. So my issue is there's a lot of people on there that are not serious about meeting people, that are not serious about talking to people. They just own it just for something to do. So that's issue number one that I have. Number two issue that I have with dating apps and dating these days and trying to date these days, besides the non-serious, is the dating apps themselves and their algorithm. I'm going to do a whole deep dive video about these dating apps and their algorithm because I've been reading up on this for years now. But there are most dating apps kind of work in the same kind of paradigm. They work in the same kind of corporate structure, which is there to make you pay for membership. They hide different dating apps, hide certain features, and they're there for you to make you pay, especially the men. Especially the men. The women, there's some dating apps where women can get on free and the men have to pay for every little bit thing, and they will nickel and dime you to death. I know some men that are paying $40, $50 a month for a dating app, and there's barely anybody on it. Let me tell you, which gets me to my other point about these dating apps. Profiles. A lot of people don't know when you go and create a dating app profile, even though you may delete your profile, when you sign that fine print, when you sign up and they have the fine print, yes, hello, what pulls my teeth? Hey, yes, he's saying that most join dating apps with the pure, with most don't join dating apps with the pure intent to date. They don't. They just there to be entertained. So these dating apps, a lot of things people don't know. When you sign up and you fill out all that stuff and you agree, even when you delete your profile, they still keep your profile on there. They still keep your profile on there, y'all. So you and they have a rigorous system that unless you send an email to some of them, it depends on the app, but unless you send an email to the customer service department telling them to remove all of your data, they can keep your profile on there even though you have deleted it. So that profile is like what they call a ghost profile. So some of these profiles on there are people who either signed up for it and forgot. Like sometimes I sign up for an app and then I forget or I don't use it anymore and you delete the app, but your profile is still there. And then sometimes I have deleted my profile and then your profile will still show up in their search engines because they own that information on your profile depending on the dating app. I didn't realize that until I read that online. So sometimes you got to send an email. Y'all be careful. You got to send an email and telling them to remove your information off that dating app. So sometimes when you get on a dating app and they have, oh, we have over 1 million users. Some of them users ain't even active or they haven't been active in months, in years. I know POF, plenty of fish for one, I know is real bad about this. That you have to send them an email to get rid of your profile information. Then you have dating apps that own different apps. Tinder owns Tinder and Swirl. I mean, not Tinder and Stir. There's another dating app called Stir for single parents. So what Tinder will do, they will take your username and profile and they will actually put it on Stir as well. So you'll have the same profile on Tinder and Stir. Some of these people had no idea that their profiles are showing up on Stir. So that's another thing I'm telling y'all. They will send an email out saying, congratulations, you've been chosen to be a part of Stir, blah 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 blah. So unless you're really reading that email, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. That's how I got on Stir because Tinder sent me email and I actually clicked on it and was paying attention. But there's some people who are like, what Stir? I'm like, your profile is on Stir. What are you talking about? What Stir? I haven't saw because Tinder owns Stir. So they were mirroring, that's what they call mirroring profiles on their fledgling app to boost their numbers. So that's a thing you got to be careful of. A lot of these dating apps boost their numbers by having some apps have fake profiles. I mean, I'm just gonna call it. Some of these apps have fake profiles, and people call them out for it. So these people aren't real. They just take stock photos and they create profiles, and that boosts their numbers as well. Some of these low down dirty dogs, they've been dating apps have been doing this for years, especially the ones that are just starting out. You really have to pay attention to that. Because you'll get on dating apps and they'll boast all these members, and then you get on the app and it's like in your yeah maybe worldwide, maybe countrywide, but then you look in your area for your location, there's not that many on there. So that's it just depends. That's the shenanigans I don't like that dating apps now do now. So yes, so that's my other problem. My third issue is with dating these days, trying to date with dating apps is I have many problems, but this is the third one I'm going to talk about. Is just the general uh assumptions. I wouldn't say it's sexist, but there are assumptions that are made that I read about online all the time about women and our experiences with dating apps, and I've talked about this before. Men think women have it easy on dating apps, and I'm here to tell you as a woman that we do not. I know, and as a woman who know other women of different ages and races, I've said this before. I know somebody who's white, who's 33, who's on a dating app. I know somebody who's black female in their 20s on a dating app. I know someone's Asian in their 20s on a dating app. I know somebody in their 50s on a dating app. I know different people in different levels of life and ages, and then there's me who on dating apps, and we have all pretty much kind of had the same experience. Um, and the experience is that uh, we you send out replies, you send out hello, how you doing, and you don't get no response back. So that's another thing. So people talk about ghosting. That's something different. It's just like a lot of us and I'm like I said, we all can't keep having the same problem. It can't be just us. So I don't know. My pest control guy is here. So anyway, y'all bear with me for a second. We all can't keep having the same problem. So because people try to blame it, on the person. Hello, I'm good. Yes. Yep. 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 No, I just got here. Yeah, I'm just coming. Um, no, the outside and the inside. Yeah. Start with the outside, yeah, while I get inside. Thank you. Yes, it is. Thank you. Anyway, y'all. So I'm here to tell you that the other issue is that a lot of it is sexist. There are a lot of people making a lot of assumptions about a lot of things about women have it so much easier. We don't. We don't. We don't have it easier. We just don't. I mean, they're like, well, women, you must have a bunch of messages and you must have people just all in your DMs. No, we don't. And the reason why we don't is because, like I said, I can only speak for Texas men. I don't know how, I would say that I'm going to do a whole deep dive about dating apps and how people give really horrible advice. But a lot of times with dating apps, it's regional. It's really regional. People will have a one size fits all for dating, a one size fits all for dating apps, and it's stupid because there is no one size fits all for dating apps. So even what I'm telling you is my experiences and the women I'm telling you about, but region has a lot to do with your experience on a dating app. I know people who live in Atlanta that it is a worldwide issue. But I know people who live in Atlanta. It also depends on what kind of men you're seeking. That's another thing. Like I could go off on that because men are like, we have all these. I don't have men slide in my DMs 24/7. I don't have people just assume that I do. Like people, when I get all glammed up, y'all see me all like beautiful and glam. People just assume that I go out and men are like trying to talk to you. No, men do not. Men don't approach me at all. But back to what I'm talking about dating apps is that there's a lot of assumption by men that women have it easier and we have all these dudes. That has not been in my experience. I know other women that has not been their experience either. And like I said, it is regional. It depends on what men that you're looking for. What kind of men are you dating? And that's get left out the conversation. Again, I'm gonna say it again, and I don't mean to sound racist, but as a black woman, not all men date black women. I'm black or white. That's just the truth. Just the truth. My sister-in-law, my best friend, my BFF, she 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 likes Hispanic men and black men. So she'll date a white dude. She might f with a white dude. But her preference is Hispanic and Asian and black. So she gets a lot of messages because she's Caucasian. She's very attractive, and so her experience is different. I have a woman that's Asian. She can't keep the men out her box. You know, she don't even take it seriously. She's like, girl, yeah, I got all these dudes. Da, 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 da. Her experience is very different from mine. I know a Latina. I've known Latinas who are like, but they're only looking for Latinos. So it depends on what you're looking for. There's an assumption out there that everybody is looking for everything. Everybody is not looking for everything, y'all. They not. Especially black women from Texas. What the heck? I mean, there's this assumption that everybody is looking. Yeah, I'm in Texas. Do y'all really think I'm in conservative? And then it depends on where you live in Texas. I don't live in Dallas, y'all. I'm not in San Antonio. I'm not in El Paso. I'm in the motherfucking country, y'all. Like I could date somebody from Dallas. Dallas for me is like 45 minutes away. It depends on what part of Dallas. North Dallas is 45 minutes. If you're talking about downtown or South Dallas, that's like an hour or so away. I don't want to date somebody um an hour, 2, 3 hours away. Especially Dallas traffic is horrible, y'all. Traffic out here in Texas is bad. So I'm trying to date somebody in my area. Like I live in far north Dallas. Like I live way north of Dallas. So those of you who I live north, I am north of McKinney. So I'm out here. Like I'm out here. First of all, depending on where you live, even when I moved here, I used to live in another at the other end of North Dallas, like near Denton. So living out there wasn't a lot of single people because again, if you're gonna live in my neighborhood and the type of houses that we have, most likely you're gonna be a two parent income. There's not a lot of single mothers. There's not a lot of single fathers. There wouldn't be a lot of single people living in where I live anyway, because it just doesn't make any sense. If you're a single man or a single woman, you wouldn't live here. I mean, you wouldn't live in houses out here. You would. You would live in an apartment, you would live in a townhome, you would live in a starter home. That's not where I live. So I don't live in starter home areas. But most time people living in homes is because they're married and they have kids. There's not a lot of single parents living here. So a lot of single parents live in apartments. I'm not trying to talk down to them, but that's just our experience here in Texas. Here the property values are not as high as it is in some cities. Some cities it's ridiculous. Like California and New York, it's ridiculous. I couldn't live where y'all live. We said, and what pulls my teeth says a lot of black women from Texas are forced to date down. It depends on what you're looking for. It depends, like I said, as it depends on what kind of men. Are you looking for a black man? Again, that's hard to find where I'm at. There's not a lot of brothers out here. Like I date all types, but a lot of black women date black men. Like that's primarily what they're looking for. That's what they primarily date. And they don't. Black women, we don't have interracial dating rates like other races do and other cultures do. Black women, for the most part, date inside their race. They're not like black men. Black men will date, have just numbers. Just look up the number. So it just depends on what you're looking for. Again, if I was a black woman that only dated black men, I really would be single for a long, 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 long time, because there's not a lot of black men out here, and the ones that are married. So it's not a lot of single men, period, much less black men. And then again, it depends on what you're looking for, and I think that gets lost out of the conversation. But the idea that women just have all these men, I'm like, what kind of men are we talking about? Like, like, am I gonna date a dude that lives 5 hours away? No. Am I gonna date a dude that lives in another state? Okay. So I'm on a dating app called Swirl, 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 right? Swirl, it's like the same 30 dudes in Texas, and I say Texas, I mean the whole state, are on Swirl. Okay. I don't date dudes far away. I'm not gonna date somebody in San Antonio. That's 3, 4 hours from me. I'm not going to date somebody in Houston or these other areas. They have to be here. So if you want to narrow it down to that, there's only really like 15 dudes that are in my area that are on Swirl, right? This is just one example because this happens on a lot of dating apps. So like I tell people, so out of the 15 dudes that are on there, most of them don't reply. Most of them, God knows how. Some of them have it like Swirl has it where you can see where the last time the person logged in. The last time they logged in was, I don't know, like weeks ago, some of them months ago. So we talk about active users. There's like 10 active users on there. Some of the active users are out of my age range. Some of the active users are not what I'm attracted to. So it goes down to what you want, where you live, attraction, and so it's not easier for women. I mean, if you are looking to just date somebody out of state. Like I said, back to my experience on Swirl, right? So on Swirl, y'all gonna watch me walk around because I have to go out here and get my computer. So on Swirl, I was saying, Swirl is an interracial relationship online app. Okay, by the way, it used to be known as interracialdating.com, but they changed it to Swirl. I guess they got hip, girl, swirl. Because I date interracially. Okay, if y'all don't know, my kids are biracial. My late husband was white. So I date all types. I've dated Asian guys, I've dated Indian guys, I've dated Middle Eastern guys, which I really like. And but it's hard for me to find a Middle Eastern man here in Texas. Like it's just they're definitely all married. They're very conservative and very married. So when you get on Swirl, I get a lot of messages from men out of state. So I have men hitting me up talking about, well, you must get messages from a lot of men. If you're in Georgia and California, yeah, I get a lot of messages from dudes in California, New York brothers love me. So black and white ones, they love me. But I'm in Texas, so how does that help me? It doesn't. It doesn't. I'm flattered. I appreciate it. It's cool, but it doesn't help me. So at all. And again, I don't do long distance, so you know, so that don't help. Let me go back in and get my stuff. Y'all give me a minute. Oh crap. All right. If my cat isn't in here somewhere. Actually, my cat don't. My cat's in here somewhere. My kitty's somewhere in here. Oh, there you are, kitty. Okay, let me close the door on you. All right, y'all. Anyway, so what I was saying is that doesn't, that doesn't help me any. That you think I'm flying in California. How does it help me? It doesn't. So, like I said, there are some people. Y'all, it's gonna get dark. Let me turn the light on. Bam, the light is on. There's some people that are okay with that or will talk to you because they have nothing else better to do. To me, it's a waste of my time. Unless you plan to move here, I don't plan to move anywhere else. I live in Texas. I'm not moving from Texas. I have children that are, in school here. I don't plan to move. So, how does that help me? It don't. It doesn't. It doesn't. So there's no point in me even to entertain that. And some people will do it because they're bored. But there's no point in me entertaining. So story time. I decided to entertain it. I was like, okay, you know what? There's this real fly Latino, right? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk to him, and everything's gonna be cool. And then I was like, he lives in Ohio, and he's like, I'm serious, and the child. After talking to him for like 4 or 5 days, us texting back and forth, then it's like he started texting less. Then he gone. Then another dude talking to California. Oh my God, I really like you. Same thing. After 5 days, the texting just went. So, yeah. So I'm like, this is why I don't date people. It takes a lot of effort to keep up a long distance relationship. You really have to be dedicated. You really have to be invested in it. Both parties. I don't know how these people do it. This goes to my 90-day fiance. I don't know how these people do it on 90-day fiance where they talk to people in another country. I don't know how they do it because to me, I can't keep anything going for a week, much less years. You got to think these people are talking to these people for years, y'all. How does that happen? I'm thinking to myself, do y'all know how that happens? How do you talk to somebody for years in another country and keep it going? Because again, I've talked to people in El Paso, and we couldn't keep it going. Even though I could easily just hop on a plane or drive to go see this person. It's a 4 hour drive, but it's not that bad. Like I won't even talk to dudes in Fort Worth, and Fort Worth is like an hour and a half from me. So I don't understand how people on these shows, these reality shows, these jail shows, these 90-day fiance, all these shows keep these relationships. How do you keep a relationship going just talking to somebody? How do you because I don't know, I guess it depends on your personality. I guess it depends on your standard or what you're looking for. Because to me, it's like I need to know details after going through this. Trying to talk to people, and I won't not talking to a lot of people, but two people in another state. I'm like, this not gonna work for me because it's hard to keep the momentum going. It's hard to keep things going. So I want to ask people out there: have you ever dated long distance in a long distance relationship? How did you keep the momentum going? Because after 4 or 5 days, it's just kind of like, so it's like I couldn't keep the momentum going. So, that's what that's my take on that. But being a woman, it's not easier for us to we don't have tons of men throwing themselves at us. And then sometimes the men we do have throwing themselves at us, it's because they've sent messages to 40 different women and they just waiting for one of them who just trying to see who's going to reply. So they're just throwing out all kinds of things to all different kinds of women. They're swiping left on, they're swiping yes or what right or left or whichever one it is on a whole bunch of women. They're just trying to see which one. They're not serious about you. They're not interested in you. They're just trying to see who's going to respond. So a lot of that goes on too. And so The idea that men expect us women to feel special, like we have some sort of dating superiority. If I hear this one more time, I'm gonna strangle somebody because we do not. We do not. Women don't have it easier in dating. If that case, there wouldn't be so many single women. I know so many women who have given up on dating. I know so many single women who are like, I give up. I'm tired. I don't want to try. I don't want to date. I don't want to do nothing. I just want, I'm going to be single. I'm almost to that point now that I'm just tired. Like it's tiring, and not tiring dating people. Like if I was dating people, it would be it would be a little bit more of an adventure. But I'm tired of talking to people and starting all over again. Like you talk to one person and then it kind of dies off, or they disappear, or they ghost you. I've had that happen. Then you talk to somebody else and they peter off, and it never gets to the point where you're actually having a meaningful interaction with us. And to me, a meaningful interaction is me we're meeting in person. We're not just texting on the phone. We're not just I just because God forbid anybody wants to call anybody. They just want to text and message. We're messaging off of the app because you have dudes that just want to message on the app. Just want to message you on the app. They'll never ask for your phone number. They'll never get your phone number. They just want to. That's a red flag for me too. But it just seems like okay, you talk to one dude, that guy's gone. You talk to another dude. Like I've been on dating apps for months now, and I've literally given probably 20 different dudes my telephone number or Snapchat or message, one or the other. I've only met one in person. One. I went on one date with one dude, and then after 2 weeks, he disappeared. He literally disappeared, y'all. But that's for another video at another time, y'all. But I'll tell that story about how that I still don't know what happened to this. I don't know. I don't know. I have many theories about what happened, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, I get tired of talking to people, talking to people, talking to people, and it going nowhere. Like this is going nowhere. And then I get tired of wanting to ask people, is this gonna go anywhere? You gonna? I mean, because like again, it's hard to weed who just, and then some people just want somebody to talk to. Like what Pulls My Teeth said, some people just want validation. They just want to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk eh, because they just want somebody to talk to. They just want somebody to text. They're lonely. They want a female to talk to. They want to they want to take up your time. Like they don't have any. Like this one dude I talked to for about 4 or 5 months, y'all. I talked to this dude for 4 or 5 months. We text message, we talked on the phone, never met. I had to stop talking to him. And then he was like, "Well, yeah, I'm gonna meet you." Every time we go to meet, something would come up, or we'll meet on Saturday, and then come Thursday he'll disappear. I don't have time for that. Again, as to why we never met, it wasn't had nothing to do with me. I was like, okay, let's do it, and never did it. So I get tired of that too. There's several dudes I've talked to for months and months and months and months and months and months and months, never met. I don't have time for that. I tell a dude if we're not meeting within 2 weeks, there's no point of us even still talking. Why are you wasting my time? Why are you wasting your time? Because again, some of them talk a good game and oh they want to take you out and I want to do this and want to do that and either they're already married, they already have a boyfriend, they already have a girlfriend. Because yes, I have. I'm gonna do a video about my experiences where I've had women and men call me talking about why are you talking to my man? Yes, 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 child, yes, child. I've had a man call me talking about who are you? Why you talk? Why you texting my boyfriend? Hold up, what? Oh, honey, he's on a dating app, and I have to tell them. And I haven't had anybody cuss me out or be rude. I had somebody's wife call me talking about, who is this? Why are you talking to him? What, who? And I had to explain to her like he's on, and I know if he's talking to me, he's talking to many, many different ones. So, it happens. But I'll do a video about that too. Just the shenanigans, the shenanigans that go on because there is shenanigans. So I think the pest control guy is gonna make sure my cat is still here. My kitty kitty. My kitty kitty. I turn my light on, make sure my kitty kitty's still here. Look. He's in my son's bedroom. He's in my son's bedroom. I had to make sure he's still here. But the pest control man came. He comes every quarterly, y'all. I ain't got no bugs in my house. Ain't no roaches. Ain't no rats. Ain't none of that in my house. Right? I don't do nothing. I keep a very clean, neat house. But back to what I was saying. It's just it's frustrating. It's like walking through a landmine. It's crazy. It's just I don't and I don't like it and I don't enjoy it. This is not fun. Before 5 years ago when I was dating and dating apps, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It really was. It was me meeting people, me dating people, me. Now there's no meeting. It's just texting, endless texting and texting and texting and texting and texting and texting. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? How are you doing? I'm tired of that. I'm just I'm tired of it. And so, I'm like, does anybody want to meet? Because I'm not scared to meet nobody. I'm not scared to meet anybody. But apparently a bunch of people are. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know how it works for anybody else in their area and their experiences. Y'all tell me your experiences. Oh my God, sorry, y'all, I got a phone call. But y'all tell me y'all experiences. Like I said, every woman that I know that lives here, and that's all the women I know, um, are having the same type of experiences where guys aren't serious, guys don't respond, and it's tough. It's tough, and then people try to blame it on your age and try to blame it on this, and I'm like, but I know a bunch of women. I thought to myself, I can't be the only one. So when I joined women's groups, and I realized, okay, we're all having the same experience. So it's not me. It's not my age. It has nothing to do really with me. It's just my friend told me, oh well, that's just how it is these days. But there's no dating going on. I can understand dating and get y'all like this. Oh yeah, hold on. Oh y'all like that? Isn't that the most beautiful thing ever? And I have okay. Anyway, let me divert. I have a female samurai. Y'all wanna know what's on my walls? This is what's on my walls in my room. I have African stuff. That's a fan from Uganda, by the way. Anyway, so I was just giving y'all the tour. My house. I never gave y'all the tour of my new house, but But I'm just gonna talk to you. But this is what's going on right now, and I just don't. I'm just at a loss at understanding what is happening. I feel like I'm in some kind of like nightmare that I can't get out of, and I don't want to be a part of, and don't like to be a part of, and I'm just like, what is happening and why? And so, you know, that's what's going on right now. So I just want to hop on here and do this video, share my experience. 'Cause, anytime I feel something in my spirit, I have to hop on here and just share my experiences with y'all, especially if it's something I'm frustrated about. And I'm definitely frustrated at dating. I've been single for so long. And again, I went online, looked at dating gurus, but no one talks about the time span before dating. Like everybody talks about when you get a date and when, what to do in a relationship or what to do before the relationship when you're just talking and dating. But my point is, we need more emphasis on the period before you start dating. In the period before you start talking to someone, the period before you know you go after their first date. Everybody is starting after the first date. Everybody is giving advice about how to keep a man, what to keep him interested, how to know he's not playing games with you. Okay, that's good, but okay, how do we get to the point of finding said man? That's my thing. So that's good when you're getting dating advice when you're dating, but I'm not dating. So my question is, the thing that people I see a lot of people, and I don't know a lot of these dating YouTubers or whatever. I don't subscribe. I only subscribe to like really like two of them. But I see a lot of advice about in the when you're dating someone and what happens and the male and female relations that way. But I'm just like, what about those of us who are like, that's good, but I haven't got to the dating that part. I need advice before that part. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for. When I find somebody, I know what I'm looking for. I know, what kind of man I want, what kind of man I don't want. I know what kind of personality, attraction, all that. I figure I know enough about me to understand what I want and what I don't need in a dating, in a relationship, all that. Like I know myself. I know some people don't know themselves and they're like, I don't know what I want and I don't know, I'm just winging it. When it comes to me dating, I take it very seriously. I don't wing it because I know what type of man I get along with, I don't get along with. I understand that about myself. I understand my ups and my downs, my flaws and my strengths. I understand what I bring to the table in a relationship as a person, as a human being, as a woman. I get all of that. Um, that's the point is trying to find somebody who fits that and then also trying to find somebody period to know whether they fit it or not because again in order for you to date to find out people like oh well online dating is a numbers game. I totally agree it's a numbers game but there's no numbers there for me to game with. there's they, I understand that you got to kiss a bunch of frogs, but I'm like, okay, but we gotta get to the pond to find the frogs first. Well, you got to kiss a lot of frogs. Okay, but I need to get to the frogs to kiss one to figure out which one's the prince. So that's the point. That's the part of it that nobody seems to really relate to or to be talking about. Get me to the frog pond. Where the frog pond at? I will kiss the frogs. I will date guys. I don't have any dating fatigue. I'm not going on dates. Because I know a lot of women out there talk about they have dating fatigue, and I'm like I said, I know it's not just me, but there are not a lot of dudes who are like, hey, I'm talking to you, because talking to somebody only gets you so far. You have to be able to interact with this person in person to see how, it may be different for y'all, but for me, I need to interact with you in person. Okay. I need to be able to see how you act at a restaurant, to see how you interact with me, to see do you fidget, do you bite your nails, I'm a very body language kind of person. I got to see how we get out in public and how your body language is and how I feel with you. Am I comfortable? Do we have are we able to conversate in person? Because conversating over an app or through a message or over the telephone is different than us conversating in person. I'm a type person. I'm introverted. Believe it or not, y'all. I keep telling y'all, I am very, very introverted. So I'm a slow burn. So it takes me a while for me to get used to you to be able to be comfortable around you. So like I said, long distance thing don't work for me because I have to meet you in person. So the long distance thing don't work for me on many levels, but the biggest reason is because I like to be able to spend time with somebody in person. I like to go on dates. I like to go do things because I'm peeping how a person is acting in person. Because that tells me a lot about the person. That's like I said, that's me. But most people are like that, and so the idea that people are on dating apps and they are not trying to meet anybody. I keep telling these love gurus, I've sent them emails, I've commented in the comment sections on something like Steven Speaks. If you don't know who Steven Speaks is, he's good. He's really, really good. And a lot of his stuff he's saying is accurate and correct, and I agree with. But he talks about the time when you meet somebody and you're getting to know them. Again, I tell Steven Speaks, I sent him an email and I said, honey, a lot of us we're not getting to that point. We are getting burned out because I'm talking to somebody and then they're gone. And then I'm talking to somebody else and then here come the same questions. Where are you from? How old are you? How many kids you got? What kind of job you have? Then the next guy, where are you from? How many kids you have? What kind of job you have? What are you looking for? Then I start writing down the questions I need to ask people on a notepad and just copying and pasting now because that's where I'm at right now. Copy and paste, question and copy and paste because it's the same having to ask the same questions over and over and over again to different guys. So it's tedious. It's tedious. It's boring. Um, and it's it's I get tired of it. I get tired of the same conversation. Sorry, y'all, I had to look at something on my phone. So I don't know about this dating thing, y'all. I think I'm gonna be single for a very long time. Like y'all know, I like my level of patience as just as a human being is low. So I'm like a get to the point kind of person. My level of patience is low, and so I don't know about this dating thing, y'all. I really don't. So I just like to hear from other people because for me, it's a no for me. It's to the point where I don't know if I want to date, if I like I said, I just get tired of not meeting anybody in person. I just, you know, I, or not talking to anybody. I just, it's just, and like I said, the dichotomy of being a woman, people think that women have, I can get online. I don't know if I do another video, I'm gonna get on my computer and I'm gonna show y'all the dating apps that I'm on and how many messages I have in my inbox. It is like barely any. A lot of that has to do with the algorithm. When you first sign up for a dating app, it pushes you to the front. So we'll talk about that as well. But there's a lot of shenanigans that goes on in dating apps as well. When you first sign up to when you've been on there for a while, because it pushes you to the front of the algorithm. A lot of people don't know that. When you first sign up, it pushes your profile to the front. And so you will get a lot of messages in the beginning, but then after a month or so, or just depending on the app, it'll start petering out. So we'll get into that conversation. But I just want to come on here and rant and rave about my experiences and the lack of anything for months and how people think it's easy for somebody living in Texas. People think it's easy for women. And I tell people, like I said before, it depends on what you're looking for, depends on where you live, has a lot to do with it. As a girl out here in the sticks, hey, I'm in the country suburbs of Texas. A lot of men ain't. And then it also depends on your personality. I'm very liberal. I am not conservative. I don't go to church. Y'all know I'm an atheist. Yeah, so I don't fit in here at all. Period. So I just don't fit in here at all. Um, and it's sad to learn that a lot of black women from Texas are forced to date down. And yeah, and I don't want to date down. I work hard for everything that I do, so I don't want to date down. I don't want to date some guy that that has less than me. And then we'll get into that too because I don't know these women who want these six-figure men. I make six figures. I have not dated a dude who made six figures. I'm like, what the hell are people talking about? I'm like, I make six figures. Like, I would tell about well, I don't want to date dude. Who are these women? I know women who make six figures who are dating dudes that make six figures and not dating dudes making seven figures. They're dating dudes that make as much as them, maybe a little bit less or a little bit more. I don't. I guess I mean, if you live in New York, if you live in California, if you live in some of these cities, it depends on the cost of living. Six figures in New York is not six figures in Texas. I keep telling people this. So the people talking about they want a man, if you make six figures in New York, shit, that ain't nothing. I'm like, y'all do know the average medium income in America is like 45,000, right? Y'all do know that. that these people talking about six figures. I'm like, okay, where do they live at? California? Yes, six figures is nothing in California and New York and and in some of these high taxable states. Florida, they property taxes and they rent is high. I know somebody lived in Florida for about 6 years, and she was paying more money mortgage in Florida than she was in Texas. So yeah, people talk about six figures. I'm like, it depends on where you stay. Like, does not people understand that six figures in Texas is not six figures in Wyoming? Even your six figures is going to go far. Most people in Texas is not making six figures here because our cost of living is lower here. So the idea that I just get annoyed that people are just having these blanket statements about everybody over the whole country, and I'm just like, wait a minute. Most people in Texas is making $50,000 a year because our cost of living is lower. You can make a good living making $60,000 a year here as a single person. Now, if you got some kids, it's a little bit higher. But the idea that women want these six-figure men, I'm like, what? Where? Who? What? Where are these women living saying this? New York. They want. Okay, those are the women in New York. Their cost of living is high. Hell yeah, I want a six-figure man living in New York because rent, you paying $3,000 a month for efficiency in New York. So yes, six figures is not gonna get you much there. California, yeah. Mortgage is like, again, a house in California is like 3,000 a month. I live in Texas. You can get a good house for 1,800 a month, boo. Like, what do you? Child, don't even get me started on this six-figure nonsense. Said by who? By who? Where? Where? By who? Six figures in Texas will get you a fucking mansion. Are you kidding me? Six figures in Texas, you will be living in a four-bedroom, two-story home like yours truly. Okay. My old house was a 3,000 square foot home, y'all. What are y'all talking about? You can't go. You can't get a house like mine in Nevada. The property values are high. Like, yeah, like this, the insanity of the rhetoric that goes on with dating, where women want a six figure. I just tripped out on that. I said, what? I said, six figures in Texas is rich. You're pretty well off. I have two kids. I'm a single mother. I'm pretty well off. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Six figures. I'm like, most people don't make that much here, but because again, it's cheaper to live here. You go to Michigan, it's cheaper to live. I'm from Michigan. It's cheaper than six figures in Michigan. Will have you living in you be living nice. Philadelphia, no. New York, no. Jersey, no. Like, it depends on where you live. So I'm tired of these superlatives and these blanket statements kicked out about women and about dating and about finances when I'm like, it depends on where you stay. Or women have a bunch of men. Depends on where you stay. Depends on what kind of man you're looking for. So, like I said, I can rant and rave about that because it drives me crazy. And I'm like, everybody is not the same when it comes to dating. We all don't look for the same things. We all don't live in the same areas. We all don't look for some of us know what we want. Some of us don't know what we want. Can't paint our women with this fine brush like we all just like, blocking the sausages like men is coming. It's not like that. It depends on what men, like I said, it depends on what men you're dating. Are you dating people out of state? Are you dating people outside your race? Are you only dating people inside your race? Do you like dudes taller than you? Do you not mind height? That's another issue. It's attraction too. What are you attracted to? The type of man that I like lives in New York and California. Like I like a man with some swag. Like I like a dude with a swag. Swag to me is different than swag to other people. I like a man that that knows how to dress, that looks nice, that I like a man that keeps himself together. I like a clean shaven man. Out here, there's a lot of men with beards, and they don't. Anyway, I won't even get into it because I'm gonna get. Baby, I need to do another video about these men on these dating apps out here. Again, results may vary, but out here it's just men complain that they can't keep women, and then they do videos. I mean, not videos, but they have pictures and they unkempt. I'm sorry, I don't like all this beard. I don't like all this beard, hair not cut, looking scruffy. I don't like scruffy dudes at all. Scruffiness is not good for me. Some women like that. That's hey, to each his own. But out here where I live in Texas, it's just a lot of dudes are real country and scruffy. I don't like that. So that's going to narrow the list of men that I'm looking for anyway, because I don't like scruffiness. I don't like, a bunch of a bunch of facial hair all over your face. Some women don't mind. I like a clean shaven, clean cut, short hair. I don't like long hair on no dude. All that beard and hair unkempt. Baby, because when your girl step out, when I go on a dating date, baby, clothes is on, hair is done, makeup is slayed, and laid, baby. I don't step out the house if I'm going on a date. Clothes is on point, everything is on point. Nails is on point, hair is on point, wig is on point, eyebrows is on point. They don't look like this when I'm doing these videos. I like to look nice. And so it's just the idea that a lot of men have gotten out of that. There's a lot of men who just like, I got some work boots on and some jeans and a t-shirt and was like, well, I'm finna take this picture. I don't want to say like, you ain't got to be dressed up, dressed to the nines in a suit or nothing, or taking wedding photos. No, but I'm just saying that, like, that, I emphasize to my son. Let me say one last thing. As my son is becoming a young man, I emphasize to him about looking nice, about hygiene. And it's not about looks. I said, with women, it's not about looks a lot of times. It's not about how much money you make. Is how your ability to conversate and communicate, which I emphasize to my son, and in your ability to coordinate your life. Women, like I said, we will fall head over heels in love with a dude, um, because he can conversate, because he pays attention to us, because he's attentive, because he's communicative, because he's intelligent. And then if he's attractive to boot, I said, ain't no stop. I told my son, I said, there will be nothing stopping you. My son is an attractive kid. So I said to my son, I said, if you understand that if you look good and you smell good, then that makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? If you put your best foot forward, I don't let my son leave the house and his clothes all wrinkled and he's sloppy and he got holes in his socks. And, it's just that kind of attitude has permeated, especially our young men, that they can just leave the house looking sloppy and the hair all scruffy. No, no. I don't. My son's like, Mom, because honey, I don't want you to get into this habit of I just look like anything, and then that's supposed to be okay. I told, well, honey, I said, even though you should be able to be who you are, but we don't. We live in a society, in a world where people are looking at you and judging you, and it's not fair, and it's not right, and it's true. But you can't look like Scruffy McScruffkins and then wonder why you ain't got no date. Like, and then a lot of men are like that. They haven't bought no new clothes in 15 years and they like, well, I don't understand why women don't like me and I can't get a woman. You got to put some effort into your appearance. You got to put an effort into your personality and who you are and your mental health. Yes, but then also what gets left out of the conversation with men is appearance. When attraction is where dating starts. It starts with attraction. Again, a lot of women will date people that they're not attracted to. I'm not that person. I'm not her. I'm not her. So I'm not that person. I have to be attracted to you. And to me, for a lot of men, they've lost that somehow in our society. It's gone out the window that women like good looking men. We do. We love. Look, man. If anything, look, you may not be the smartest, you may not be the richest, but people like good looking people. I'm telling you. They talk about men are visual. It gets this narrative gets pushed that men are visual, men are visual, men are visual. Women are visual too. We like a good looking man. We like a man that smells good, that's clean, that's put together. Now, attraction may vary beyond that, but you tell women, like, do you like a man that smells good? You like a man that knows how to coordinate, know how to wear a nice pair of shoes that ain't scuffed up, that know how to wear a nice pair of jeans, a nice shirt. Like, it ain't got to be nothing expensive. It ain't got to be name brand. It ain't got to be fancy. For God's sakes, men, women, we love a man that's put together. I like a man that's put together. If I'm going to put effort into what I look like and put these pictures on my profile, then I expect you to put in effort as well. And like I said, I'm going to get on my computer and I will show y'all the profiles of dudes from Texas and Dallas. And y'all will be like a gag. Y'all will be shocked. You will be gagging. I'm telling you. You'll be like, what? Because and when I look at other states, I see profiles of men looking handsome, looking good. But when I come to Texas, I ain't trying to bag on Texas. Well, fuck it. I am. Yeah, I am. But the men here in Texas, like y'all need to get your weight up. Like y'all, it's. I understand some people like scruffy looking country boys. That's not me. That's not me. And there's a lot of that here. There is a lot of dudes who just look like anything and just that's cool. Especially I hate to say it, the Caucasian ones. Like they just look like anything. Like just anything, just hair haven't been combed. I'm gonna do a profile picture with me with a hat on, a work hat and a work shirt. Baby, I'm not trying to see you in your work clothes. Like anyway, oh my God. Anyway, I didn't got off today, y'all. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. If you made it to the end of this video, God bless you. I do my rant today. But I will be back and I will be talking about other topics of online dating, how things are going. Like I said, it is not going well. um, it is not going well, y'all. I'm about to go on vacation next week, so I will do videos about me going on vacation. I rent. There's a surprise for my kids. We rented out a villa, and we're going to the villa. So next week I will do videos live from the villa. And so I don't know. I was supposed to meet this dude on Friday. We'll see. Because again, once I sent a message like, okay, we'll meet on Friday, I hadn't heard back. So I don't. Every time I go to meet somebody, I'm like, sure, we'll meet up when you want to meet. Thursday, and then it's like crickets. I'm like, well, yeah, another one bites the dust. I have to say. So I will come back next week, and y'all will see whether I actually went on a date this weekend or I actually met anybody, which I doubt it. So we shall see. But everybody, I appreciate it. Like I said, make sure you like the video, share, subscribe, post your comments. Have you been going through some certain things like this? I want to know because again, misery loves company. But anyway, y'all, I got to get to work. Bye.